I want to crochet an edge around this work, and as you can see, there are some quite steep angles here and there. And I want to create a smooth edge that goes around the entire work. So that's what we're going to do in this lesson. I usually start somewhere where the stitches don't interfere with the smoothing process. And as you can see, we need to consider the fact that we're working with a circle, so we're going to have to increase somewhere. Soon enough we will get to this angle here, and as usual we are using the pivot technique to determine where to put the increase. Okay, so here we need to smoothen this out, and instead of doing a treble crochet and yarn over, we're going to pull up some loops that will substitute the yarn over. Then we can crochet as if it was a regular treble crochet. And this way the stitch will stay in place. For the last stitch, I'm going to start like a regular treble crochet. I'm going to first pick one of the stitches here, and then I'm gonna pull through. And I'll repeat the process again. And the last time. This way the stitches will stay in place. And I can just continue with my work. If you want, you can crochet around the edge, but I want to smoothen this even further, so let's just crochet a couple of stitches. Now I want to smoothen this even further, so I'm going to repeat the process. I'll start with a couple of regular stitches before I start with the smoothing process here. Okay, so now I can repeat the process. But the angle expands a bit here, so we need to create 2 stitches here. So I'll do that. And I'll repeat the treble crochet technique. And as you can see, the edge is quite smooth and you can easily crochet along this side later. And we'll do the same with the other 2 steep angles. This curve is not so steep, so something you can do to even it out is that you can just create some slip stitches and then go back. So here you can crochet back with double crochets, for example. You can use the pivot technique to determine how much of a curvature you need to accommodate for. Here we will need a couple of more stitches. And here we want to decrease and also start using some other stitch like the half double crochet and the single crochet. Let's see how this turned out. Okay, so this turned out pretty good, but we might need to even it out even further. Here we can just start crocheting with single crochets. Maybe we can accommodate this little valley with a progression. So half double crochet, and treble crochet will do. And we work the way back with double crochets, half double crochets, single crochets, and lastly a slip stitch. And here you can see that it evened out quite nicely because we used the progression technique. The third way we can even out an angle is to use the progression technique in another way. So we start here and we progress the way out. So here we are going to do single crochet, half double crochet, double crochet, yarn over twice for the treble, and let's even go with a double treble crochet. Like this. And you can decide if you want to stitch this together right now or if you want to do it later. I think I'm going to stitch it on right now. So I'm going to use the slip stitch technique to assemble the work further. Let's smoothen this out a bit more. And let's do a progression. I'll create some double crochets and I'm laying it out flat so I can see what I'm doing. And here I might want to crochet in the actual treble crochet stitch so that we have somewhere to insert our hook. And according to the pivot technique, we need to increase. Maybe this would have been enough, so I'm just going to unravel this stitch and create the alternative treble crochet. Now we have smoothened the angles a bit, so now we can start crocheting around the entire edge. Let's just continue around the edge, and I'm just going to work some single crochets here, and I'll follow intuitively and use the progression technique if needed. And as you can see, the work will smoothen out the more we work on it. And here is the final result. The edges are evened out and I'm happy with the result so far. That's all for this lesson. I hope you enjoyed it and I'll see you in the next lesson.